Hi guys, Shashank here from Mumbai. I joined the digital space back in early 2012 and every day I have come across new features and updates to AdWords that has helped me a lot along the way. I am hoping by doing this video I can help new advertisers on AdWords familiarize themselves with the AdWords editor and for some seasoned advertisers to learn a few more things. So here we go. What is the AdWords editor? For people who are new to AdWords or for those who are not aware about it, the editor is a free downloadable application that helps you manage your accounts. The editor can help you save time and makes it easier for you to make changes to your account before you need to take them live. It is especially handy when it comes to making bulk changes to your accounts. Now, the basic process is quite simple. Download one or more of your accounts, make changes to them offline, bulk or otherwise, and finally upload those changes to the AdWords interface. What can you do with the editor? Any advertiser with any sized account can use the editor, but it's especially useful for accounts with multiple campaigns and a long list of keywords or ads. For instance, you can use the bulk editing tool to make multiple changes quickly, export and import files to share proposals or make changes to an account, use statistics for all your campaigns or a subset of campaigns, manage, edit, and view multiple accounts at the same time. Search and replace text across ad groups and campaigns. Copy or move items between ad groups and campaigns. Undo and redo multiple changes while editing your campaigns. Make changes in draft before uploading them to your account. And most importantly, keep working even when you're offline. The key to using the editor to its maximum potential is to understand the interface well and leverage Excel sheets to your advantage. Let us begin with the editor interface first. Alright, the screen that you see in front of you is the AdWords interface version 11.3.3. There are some distinct parts to the interface that are crucial to us as advertisers. The toolbar, for instance. You can use these options to either open or add an account, download most recent changes that you've made to the account on the AdWords interface, check or post changes to the account that you've made via the editor, and then finally view account statistics. Moving on. Next is the tree view. You use the tree view, also sometimes called as the account tree view, to select the account, campaign or ad group that you want to view or edit. Click the arrow right next to the account name or any of the campaigns to expand them or collapse it, and you will be able to see all the contents that are relatable to that account or campaign within them. For example, the ad groups, the keywords. Next up is the type list. The type list is a section right here to the bottom left of your screen. Click an item in the type list to view data for your selected account, campaign or ad group. For example, select a campaign in the tree view, then select keyword in the type list to see the keywords for that campaign in the data view. The data view right here displays the contents of your account, campaign or ad group. Contents of your data view will change depending on what you've selected in the view and the type list. The edit panel. When you select a row in the data view, you can edit it in the edit panel or by typing directly into the selected row. If you need to create more space for viewing and editing your account information, you can collapse one or more of these panels by doing so. Now that we are fairly familiar with the interface, we need to understand how to use it optimally. Step 1 here would be to understand the shortcuts that you can use. By going to the help section here, you can get a list of all the shortcuts that can be used. While going through the list, you will realize that many of these shortcuts are the ones that you already use on Office. That's the best part about the editor. You do not have to learn any new basic key combinations, but use the ones that you're already used to. Pretty awesome, isn't it? Now, before we move on to some of the more advanced features on the editor, we would need a sample account to work with. What we are going to do is build up a whole account with all the required elements, namely the campaign, ad groups, keywords, and ad copies by using something that I like to call upload ready Excel sheets. These are sheets that have the entire account structure laid out in a format that the editor accepts when you wish to add elements to a particular account. To begin with, we'll be referring to the campaign or the keyword structure. As you can see, your sheet looks something like this, starting with the campaign names in the first column to the left, followed by the ad group, then the keywords, and finally the match types. Now, this sample in front of you is what an ideal upload-ready keyword structure would look like. Now that we are done with one essential part of the account, we move on to ad copies. Your ad copy sheet looks something like this. Again, beginning with the campaign name to the left, followed by the ad group name, and then the various parts of the ad copies. As you can see here, we've decided to use 2 ad copies for each ad group. You can feel free to use as many unique ad copies as possible and assign them to individual ad groups using this format. Once you're ready with these 2 sheets, you're ready to take an account live. Step 1 is start the editor and sign in. Step 2, add the structure to the editor in 2 steps. Step 2A, copy the entire keyword structure from the Excel sheet and paste it like so in the editor. Accept the structure and process the changes, and voila, you have added campaigns with keywords to the account. Step 2B, repeat step 2A with the ad copy sheet, and once you have accepted the additions, you will then have the campaigns with almost all the necessary elements to go live with. What's missing, you must be asking? We are missing the campaign settings. Every setting that you can think of on any level of a campaign can be uploaded in bulk for multiple campaigns using Excel sheets. All you need to do is get hold of all the column headings of the required settings and put them against the campaign names in an Excel sheet. An ideal sheet with most essential settings looks something like this. As you can see, you can set the budget, campaign type, language targeting, bidding strategy, start and end dates for a campaign, along with their individual status, that is paused or active. All of you would be wondering, how do we get hold of these settings, names, and the applicable values for each of them? It's quite easy, you see. Set up a sample campaign in your account with all the settings that you wish to add using an Excel. Go to the editor, in the campaign view, select the campaign, and a simple Ctrl+C, that is copy and then a paste, Ctrl+V into an Excel sheet would give you a shell of the entire campaign with all the necessary settings. As you can see here, all the columns have been populated with all possible values in them. Now, next up is actually using the editor to carry out all the tasks that we've covered in the walkthrough. While some actions we'll be covering here are the basic everyday actions that will help you work faster, others are what I like to call the God-save actions. For the time being, we'll start with the basic ones. In earlier versions of the AdWords editor, we were limited to work on only one aspect of an account, be it a campaign or an ad group. And this could sometimes become hectic, especially if you had to toggle between multiple campaigns or ad groups within a single account or even across different accounts. But with the latest AdWords editor update, you can use the pop-out windows feature to open multiple windows, and each window allows you to view different parts of your account, be it campaign, ad group, all at the same time. For example, you can use a pop-out window to view your keywords while editing your ad text. All you need to do is either double-click or click on the pop-out option against the account aspect, say for example campaign, that you wish to expand in a dedicated window like so, and you can start working on multiple windows as you can see here. Next up is open multiple accounts. This particular option helps you manage, edit and view multiple accounts side by side. This also lets you copy and paste items between accounts. All you need to do is open a new account in the AdWords editor and it opens up in a new window. Next up is multi-select items. Using multi-select allows you to view items within any combinations of campaign or ad groups in the tree view. Some AdWords professional may use this option to paste items into multiple campaigns and ad groups at once. However, this is something I personally prefer not doing. Instead, I use this option to comb through all the common settings for a group of campaigns, for example, GTN campaigns. I can select all the campaigns in question and browse through the campaign settings to double check all of them. All settings that ideally should be constant across a type of campaign, for example, network for a GTN campaign, will have the same option selected across all the campaigns. But for the ones that differ, will be dashed out, meaning that particular setting differs across all the campaigns in question. All you need to do is use Ctrl plus click to select multiple aspects and check the common elements across all of them. This helps a lot when you need to go live with a huge account. Moving on to smarter search on the AdWords editor. AdWords editor search now allows you to do three important things: define your searches with multiple search criteria, build complex searches, and apply filters to narrow your search down. Let's start with multiple search criteria. Type in your first search query here. Hit the enter key to get your desired results. You can go a step beyond and enter a second search query, which will also be applied to your results if applicable. Building complex searches. Click the search menu icon here, move on to the search builder window, select the criteria for your search, then click the search button. You can repeat these steps to add more than one criteria from the search builder. Entering multiple search terms will bring up the results that match any of them. Lastly, apply filters to narrow your search down. Click the search menu icon, move on to view filters right here, and select the filter you would like to apply. As you can see, you can limit your results to new items, edited items, items with errors, and more. The preview and the type list on the left sidebar can also be filtered to show specific kinds of campaigns, ad groups, and types. Now for the last basic action, the undo and redo actions. As the name suggests, undo or redo options allow you to edit one or more changes in succession. You can either use the keyboard shortcuts Ctrl-Z, Ctrl-Y, or use the undo redo buttons and select from a list of changes that you wish to edit. One great thing about this, the undo and redo menus will track up to 20 past changes, and you can look through those changes here. And now for the God save actions. These are especially handy for everyone working day in and day out on the editor. The first one is the finding duplicates action. Imagine a scenario when you're taking over a new account that was previously being handled by another colleague or another agency. They had made it a habit to add new keywords directly via the AdWords interface. In such a scenario, there's a good chance that the said account has a host of duplicate keywords targeted across campaigns or ad groups. The quickest way to find these duplicates is by downloading the account into the editor and then use the Find Duplicate Keywords options from the toolbar menu right here. Or you can use Ctrl-Shift-D to shortlist and highlight all the duplicates. Next up is the filters. This particular feature is somewhat similar to what we see on the AdWords interface when it comes to the left pane, that is the tree view we see for all accounts. While on the interface, we are only allowed to filter for campaign type, which is either search or GTM or both. Here on the editor, AdWords has taken it a step further and added filters according to every possible or rather logical aspect. Now, there are two types of filters we can use here. First is the filters right here on the right corner of the tree view. Click on this and you get a drop-down menu. As you can see, you can filter campaigns for every campaign type, which makes life easier for us advertisers. Other than this, we can take it a step ahead and add other layers of filters as we go down the list and populate a list of campaigns that satisfy all these other filter criteria as well. For example, you can have a list of all the search campaigns that are enabled and only the enabled ad groups within those campaigns. Other than this, filters can also be used in the type list here to filter out the elements of your campaign that are not being used at the moment. thereby giving you a clutter-free snapshot of the campaign. As you can see, you can customize the filters to leave out or select almost all the elements of a campaign. Or you can use the easy route and just hide all the empty elements by doing so. And the editor will only show those elements that are currently in use. You can choose to do this or go back to the original setting and view all the elements by deselecting this option. Next, we move on to editor settings. We are going to be talking about a particular setting in the AdWords editor which has helped me a lot personally. Imagine a scenario where you wish to edit or update a part of your current ad copy, the final URL to be more precise. And this particular copy has been used across your account. The tricky part of editing or updating the final URL for any ad copy is that when you do so, you lose your data. And this happens especially when you're making bulk changes through the editor and you won't even realize it. Personally, I would recommend instead of editing the URL, just pause the said ad copy and add a new one across the applicable campaigns. To ensure this takes place without any glitches, you need to edit an editor setting. To begin with, you click on the settings icon right here at the top right of the editor window and you get this pop-up menu. As you can see, the default setting for importing ad copies and site links with different URLs is to update the ad copy with the new URL. But this isn't something that we wish to do. So we just go right here and from the drop down menu, we select the option create a new ad if the display URL or final URL is different. The same goes for all the site links. Another setting that can make your lives easier is the default campaign settings. This will let you decide the default campaign targeting with respect to the language and the location that you wish to use when creating new campaigns on the editor. Other than this, you can also set the default network that you wish to use for every new campaign that you create. Once you set this up, every new campaign that is created in the editor on your account will have these settings pre-selected, thus making your lives slightly easier. And now, last but not the least, Share Library. This is one of those updates that we were introduced to a couple of editor versions ago. Usually, when someone says Share Library, we think of the interface, audience, URL options, negative keywords, and placement exclusions at a campaign level. But this is not the only share library when it comes to AdWords. We have a totally different share library that lets us do some very cool stuff on the AdWords editor. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Shared library on the editor is right here at the bottom left of the screen. Double click the tab to expand it and we can see the screen right in front of you. As you can see to the left of the screen, we have access to some of the most important ad extensions, labels, and bid strategies. While labels is the only independent aspect here, all other elements here are shared by the campaign across the account. We'll discuss this in further in detail in just a few moments, but first I'd like to take up labels. As you can see, the labels section here has the option to add, remove, edit labels along with bulk changes or uploads of labels. I especially appreciate this update as it allows me to create labels offline on the editor, apply them to all the elements I wish to do so far, and take them live in a push of a button. Moving on to the ad extensions. Consider a scenario where you wish to add a site link to a set of campaigns. You wish to add site link to all the campaigns in the fastest possible manner. All you need to do is fill up all the necessary elements of the site links here, and once this is done, you can use the plus associations button right here. Select all the campaigns you wish to add it to. If you use a specific phrase in your campaign name to identify them uniquely, you can use the search bar here, filter the set theme of campaigns, select them, and then click OK. The same steps can be repeated for adding and associating callouts and call extensions across the account. Alright guys, I hope the video was helpful. If you have any comments or questions about the video or the AdWords editor, please leave them in the comment section in this thread and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks again, all the best.